Good afternoon, traders. It's AJ. It has been a while since I did a webinar recap on YouTube, so I thought I would do one. I may take a trade in the middle of this recording, but I'm looking at three things right now. See, I see SBE and Lee for their quick pops. Anyway, I want to kind of go over some plays that we did today in our room. We had a wonderful morning. Everything was set up just perfectly. I got up, the Dow was up 300 points, a lot of positive energy out there. And, I really wanted to put a really good game plan together. But, when the market gaps up 300, you're dealing with your Facebooks, your Alibabas, your Adobes, your ILMNs, and then you've got your small caps, and then you've got all your EV trades. Um, and then, it's really hard to narrow down 12 ideas and and really stick to them. Today I did 14 because it was too easy for me, these setups, and I just wanted to give everyone an opportunity to just have an opportunity to trade whatever you wanted, from a $3 stock to all the way up to a $600 stock today with Tesla. As you know, Tesla, let's start with Tesla. As you know, Tesla was gapping up $25 this morning. Everyone knew that. And the reason why it's gapping up, it's got momentum. It's still a lot of energy on it. People are buying a lot of, 600 calls. But another thing they're doing too is just this upgrade that it got to 560, even though it was a tier 3 firm yesterday, or tier 2 or tier 3. Hold on, Tesla. I'll show it to you. Yesterday, it really got momentum uh, with that 560 upgrade. I'm trying to find it. It's not here on Fly all of a sudden, but I did see it. But it got a nice upgrade, and the stock has just been really, it's got a lot of momentum in there. And of course, if there's anybody shorting the stock, they shouldn't be. So for us today, it was really, for me, the setup was just simple. I'm gapping up 25. Vinny just announced in the chat room he took the 600 calls. He's up 174% on those calls today. So congratulations, Vinny. Hopefully he'll tweet that out later. He's not going to marry the trade. He's gonna take that money. He played it all morning. Anyway, on Zoom, on Tesla, it was gapping up 25 points. Okay, and so there's two ways to play it when you have a gap up of this substantial. You can, and it's heading toward right now towards 560 as I'm talking to you. So you could scalp it off of 558, so you can make an extra point or two. But you don't long it unless it clears 550, and I'll show you how it was set up that way. Um, but if it pulled, this is how I wanted my short sellers to play it. I wanted them to snap 540 at the open. If I cleared 540, I can deliver another 10 more points in front of them. So in other words, if you took 100 shares and shorted at 540, you were pretty much assured I was going to make you $1,000 in just a matter of a minute or two. For the long side of it, once it broke through 550, I felt very confident we'd see 557, and then after that we'd see the 560, and that's pretty much how Tesla was set up today. It was very, very direct, very right on point. There was nothing mystery about it. But in our room, this is exactly what we do. So this is why traders are so successful, either trading their options or trading equity with size. Um, and imagine if you had the ability to take 10,000 shares short or 1,000 shares short of Tesla, and it pulled 10 points. You make $10,000 in a matter of minutes. And so here's the setup. So again, we set it up like this. You can see in pre-market, the stock was gapping up considerably. So when it gaps up like this and makes its run, I pretty much know we're going to have a nice run, a play on it. So two ways to play it. I don't want to long it unless I can get through this 550 mark. You see this 550 pre-market? I need to get through that first. If I can get through that, I'll make a solid move to the upside towards 560, which is where it's going now. 557 is what I was really looking for. solid move there. However, if it pulled 540 right there, I was going to guarantee pretty much a 10-point pull for quick money. So 100 shares, $1,000. 200 shares, $2,000. And if you look, the 540 snapped and bam, it hit 526. So you actually would have made a little bit more money. And then when 530 came, I looked at that as the bottom. And I figured the stock would just start running from there. But for all those that I really want that long AJ, okay, then you must break through 550. You break through 550, you'll get that 7 to 8 point move to the upside. But if you had taken it at 530 on that pullback, you would have been rich. Let's put it that way. Then we had a couple other setups that were really nice this morning, and I'll show you these. BIGC, and the way I had BIGC planned out today was very, very simple. It was gapping up 5 points today because the market was pushing it. But if you notice, when you go through my webinars, you'll notice that I'm not keen on when there's no volume. And this is no volume. You can tell it's very a lot of air pockets, I call them, and they're market orders, and they're just retailers going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so as I'm looking at this stock, I'm saying, okay, you know what? There's not enough volume to hold this stock up and to pop it. All right, it's not like Tesla or some of the other big names. So for me, when I look at stocks like this and I'm gapping up 5, my first instinct is to short the stock. And I'm calling for a gap fill to fill that gap, and then or a little bit right there, and then bottom curl, and then long back to the highs. And this is what makes trades like this so successful in our room. Because if you follow if you followed it, this is a guaranteed trade. I mean, if you get the gap fill, you long at 500 shares, you let it sit, you get 6, 7 points, you make $3,000, $2,700. And if you're buying calls, you could buy 80, 82 calls. All we needed to do is let the profit takers overnight dump the stock, and then we can go in there and do it long. And that's really what I was after today. So the way I set this up when I saw this was simple. BIGC, all right, which is, I actually gave this under this one right here. Gapping up 5. Do not long the stock unless you clear 80. If you cannot clear 80, then look for a couple more points to the upside. If it clears 80, you'll get a couple more. However, watch for topping at the open, and the stock will crumble back to 76 and under. When it does, bottom curl and slow move to the upside. So let's just say you got in and you needed to make $500 today, and you only have 15, 20,000 to work with. So you needed $500. So this is your trade. Um, if you have let's say a $15,000 account, $20,000 account, less than PDD for whatever reason, you just want to make $500. So on this trade, this is perfect setup for you. So you just simply wait for the gap fill, hit that 76 area, 77, and just bottom curl, go long with 200 shares. Take 2, 3 points, you make $600. You're done. And so I like trading these simple trades for everyone in the room. This way it simplifies. They can make money every day trading. So here we go. Ding, 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 ding. And here's the pull. We hit 77. And then it pulled again and we hit 76. But I want you to notice something very carefully. You see the 77 right there? You see how it pretty much held support? So if you had longed it, even if it pulled to 76, it would have been more of an add. You would have had a nice average, and once it took over, remember the 80 I spoke of this morning? Once you clear 80, then you go to 282. But here's your long, 77 a share. Add at 76, bottom curl, long the stock. Just an absolutely stunning setup. I'll show you another one we did like that. All right, Amba. Okay, Amba had earnings, but I want you to notice the same pattern. What do you notice on the pattern? They had good earnings, but what do you notice? What is the first thing that stands out? If you've been watching my webinars for the last couple of years, you'll see what I'm looking at. You see how thin it is? What do you see here? It's thin again. You see how thin? So when it's thin like that, there's no volume. So to me, I'm going to be looking for profit taking at the open. which is a gap fill. Now, I know Ambarella did great on their earnings, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to be eyeballing a gap fill. Now, reading the earnings report, I figured the stock would be worth probably about $70 on the bottom curl and then move right back up to the upside. But because it's thin, I know I got a lot of overnighters that are going to want to sell their stock, right? So I come over here and I go to notes and I go Ambarella. Ambarella, you're gapping up 4. Do not buy unless it clears 72. If it does, it'll be 1 to 2 points. However, look, if it doesn't clear that, look for the pull to 67, 68 if this snaps. So if it snaps at the open, that's the area of interest I want to long the stock. Well, in this instance, Ambarella came down to 69. So I did miss it by $1, but I gave it room to add in case it did. And if you waited for the long, you could see the 72 right here. Remember the 72 we spoke of, which was clearing this? There's the 72 there. This was done in pre-market. So once it cleared 72, you just had to sit back and let it ride. 200 shares, 14,000 buying power, 3 points, $600. Even right here to here, you could have cleared 2, which is $400. It's all about knowing what the stock is going to do when it makes its move. How do you know when it's okay to keep adding? Because Tekla, in that instance, let's just say, let's go back to that other stock, which was, um, forgive me, what was it? BIGC. Because the stock is in play, okay? The stock is in play right now, Tekla, because it's gapping up. You're missing the whole point of what I'm trying to teach. It's gapping up, so the stock is it's basically giving you a heads up. Hey, we want to play today. We want to run. We're gonna trade today. You don't gap up 5 points if you don't want to play with me today. You understand what I'm saying? So in an instance like that, I want to play it because I know it's going to go back up to these areas. It's not going to 0. It's not going to go to $10. It's not going to go to 20. The stock is in play. So I'm going to look for that pullback. So what do? If I get 77, I'm going to take a starter. 400 shares, 300 shares. It pulls, I'm going to add. But look, the pull was a quick, it was pull, bam. So by the time you would have looked up, you still would have been probably close to 77 as it is. I don't even think you could have added. But if you did, you just had a better average. You never start a position whole amount. You don't do that. You ease into the trade. It's something that you always have to learn. And remember, the stock is telling you, I want to trade today. Just like Tesla, just like BIGC, just like AMBA. All right. What's another stock that wanted to play today? Why did I pick it? Because I wanted you to make money. Right? So I'm getting up this morning and I'm seeing, and what do you see again? What stands out? It's gapping up what? Thin. Here you go again. Thin. Right? So it doesn't have enough volume and there's no reason for it to be up other than the market's up. So what is the natural thing going to happen? Okay? All those people that overnighted are going to want to sell the stock. Who wouldn't? You wake up and it's 5 points. But the problem with OSTK, it has a habit of always going, when they sell off, it gets pretty aggressive, as you can tell. So the way I set up OSTK was, first of all, I didn't want anyone to long it unless it cleared 71.50, then a quick 1 or 2 points, and then the short. If it snapped around the 68, 69 area, especially right there, stock was just going to gap fill right back. In this instance, it pulled down to 65 because there was such an aggressive amount of sellers. Because why? Because it was up thin. Everybody wants to cash out that have been holding. Unfortunately, some of those ended up down here, which was below yesterday's close. When they're thin like that and they start to yank, they can flush. So OSTK was a great play. I wanted to contribute to that trade today. So OSTK, do not clear it unless it hits the 71.25. You get an extra 2 points. If it snaps, let it gap fill to 68.50 and under and watch for that bottom curl. Well, clearly, even at 68.50 right here, you couldn't even try. I mean, we came close, but it pulled and snapped, and then you got even more. So on a short seller in the room, you ended up making a lot more money on that trade. Okay, so that was a nice trade. Now let's go into some of the small tech stuff. Okay, you had FTAK this morning and DPW. Now, why did I call shorts on both of these? These were both great trades today. All right, I want you to look at something. All right, I want you to look at something. Okay, okay. Now, this is just pure experience. Okay, this is just experience, nothing more. It's something that you have to trade repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly. And honestly, in order to get to this kind of level to call out what I do, unfortunately, I had to grow up in this kind of environment where nobody taught me this stuff. So I had to take losses after losses after losses after losses after losses. And after those losses, add another 100 more losses because it takes time to understand them. Now, I don't take losses. I know exactly what the stocks are going to do. And this is the whole point of why I have awesome calls to begin with. Why would you want to go out on your own or trade for a couple of years and think that you know it all, and then every so often you get these small cap plays, and then you end up losing money? Why are you losing money? Because you don't understand the trade yet. You're still developing your skill. Wouldn't it be smart to be in a room that takes you from day one and says, "Hey, this is a short. AJ, I want to long it. Hey, calm down. Where you came from and where you are now are two different places. This is a short. Be careful on your long, and if you do, you can only play a quarter size." All right. Now, both of these stocks I predetermined were going to pop at the open. Why are they going to pop at the open? Well, let's talk about that. Yesterday, they ran up. So right here and right here into close, you had some short sellers trying to build positions, which drove it up. You had short sellers building positions, which drove it up, right? Then they wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and what do you see? It's not down. Again, it's not down. It's the same pattern, just two different stocks. Okay? Okay, so here's my basic question to you, and I want you to think out loud. If the stocks are gapping up and you are personally a short seller from the night before, what do you want to do when the bell rings? Answer the question. If you're a short seller and you have a position, what is the first thing you want to do to get out? You want to close that position and get out. Because why? Because you're afraid, your anxiety is going to set in, and you're scared that this stock is going to run to 30 or 40 or $100 this morning. See, we don't do that in here. It's a quick short squeeze. So I play the emotions on those newbie traders that do exactly that. I know the stock is going to pull. I know it's coming down. But 99% of the world isn't in our chat room. So what they do is they do exactly what I predict they're going to do. They're going to squeeze the open because they're all panicking instead of just chilling. A professional day trader would have just added into his position on both of them and just made double his money or her money. But because we have so many newbies out there, everyone thinks they're a trader now. Everybody on TikTok's a trader. Nobody understands how to trade these. They only say, I better get out. Why? Add your position. Okay. There's no news on these stocks. They're just carried over from yesterday's run. Okay. That's all. So let's consolidate them today. It's not going to run. All right. But how do you set it up? Okay. Now you have the room. Now we come to the day, the opening bell. So let's go to the opening bell. So here's the opening bell. Here's the opening bell. So I want you to look at my notes. The top two picks today. FTA, do not buy unless it clears 650. If you clear 650, all right, it has room to 7 to 7.5. But that's it. I don't even think it clear that. If it does, okay, max 8, but stop. All right, the stock is already up considerably. So no, I think the max is 7, 7.5. Once it snaps 5, um, if this thing snaps 5, it'll go down. I'm looking for a $4 close on it. So once it starts to pull, gets under 6, 650, you can start scaling in short because once it snaps 5, it goes even more. DBW, do not, if this clears 950 at the open, okay, then that stock is going to go to 1050, top at 11. Then watch for the sell off to $7.58. You see how I set them up? I know the short sellers are going to want to squeeze. I know the newbies are going to squeeze it and panic. I also know when that comes, that panic, you have everyone chasing the stock going long because everybody's, a lot of people in their rooms are being going, oh, this is going to go to $20 a share. Oh, this is going to go to 70 a share. Oh, this is going to rocket to 90. Dude, stop. It's the same old crap. These rooms have no idea how to trade these stocks. They give unrealistic numbers and everything is a guess. We don't guess. This is precise. Clear this, we hit this, we short the stock. Clear this, we hit this, we short the stock. All right, so let's take a look at DBW. Okay. Hey, Tesla's going to 560 in case you want to scalp it. Okay. All right, so DBW, what's it going to do? What are you going to do with it? Right? What are you going to do? So we're going to go ahead. Now, let's just say you don't like to short. You don't like to short your stock. You want to simply, you love the, you don't like to short the stock. You like to play the long. So this would be for you. Okay. So in this instance, what I want to do, we want to wait for that 950. We clear that 950, we go to 11. We clear this 650, we go to 7, maybe 7.5. Then your short sellers will take over. What I'm trying to prepare all of you when you come into our room is to make sure you don't hold the stock. You don't marry it. Don't do that. Do not do that. No marrying anything. You play the moment, you play the action, and you get out if you're going to long it. Because my thesis is these are shorts and nothing more. Okay? So what I want to do now is I want to take that, and here we go. So let's take DBW. Ding, 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 ding. Opening bell. There's your 950. You see it? There's your 950. There's the rip. If you had 1,000 shares, you made $1,400 in a blink with 9,000 buying power, and you're done for the day. Now the pull and the shorts kick in. Bam, the stock is gone. Okay, it's like playing chess, but you're 10 moves ahead of everyone else. That's awesome calls, right? So what it prevents you from doing is, well, my friend said to go to 12, then go trade with your friend because he obviously doesn't have a clue how to trade these. Well, this guy on Twitter said to go to 35 today. Well, let's go follow him, and you won't have an account tomorrow. Okay? In here, it's my opinion. This is what's going to happen, and it's going to dump. Okay? And again, FTEK, 650. There's your long. You clear that. You rip to 7. I was expecting a little bit more, mind you. But again, same formula. Stock just, boom, $4.30. I wanted 4, so I was off by 30 cents. But for a great short seller in here with 5,000 shares, 3,000 shares, plenty of cash to be made. On this one, you could have took 2,000 shares short and just plenty of cash to make because it wasn't breaking out. There's no volume in it. There's nothing in here. It's just a short. There's no reason for this stock to be up. Okay? All right. So let's do another one. Okay, now this one was just outright stupid. I mean, this was the most stupidest headline I have ever seen in my life. And I'm going to show you stupidity. And anybody, you know, just I mean, the minute I read the headline, I just said short. I mean, I'm going to read it to you now. Okay. So for all you chat rooms that listen to my webinars, that run your services, how did you know? 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 How does this guy know? Why is he the only guy that knows this stuff? Well, do it for about 15 years and maybe it'll hit you too. But you can't be a leader trading stock for 3 years ago. Yeah, let me show you now. Let me collect your 147 a month, 162 a month. Let me show you how great I am. Oh my gosh, it sold off. I don't know why. You want to know why? You want to see stupidity? Okay, look at this. Okay, what's the stock again? SPI. All right, let's look at the headline. You ready? All right, here's the headline. All right, I'm going to read it to you, and I'm not going to say any bad words, okay? Because this is YouTube. All right, I just want to stress to you stupidity. SPI deploys 2 electrical shuttle buses to the city of Santa Cruz. What is wrong with that headline? How about everything? All right, are are the are the buses going to work? Are you going to charge the buses first and get the battery? You're delivering them on a tow truck. Here, load them off. Put them in the corner somewhere. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? I'm delivering. It's like, hey, you know what, Bounty? I'm going to deliver 2 Tonka trucks to your house today. They could be in pieces. All right. They could be broke. All right. And most important, where's the money? Where's the money? When a stock is getting ready to do well, you got to make money. Is there money being poured in? How much are the buses? Do you see anything in the headline? This was the most stupidest reason for a stock to be up. But hey, Awesome Calls loves stupid. Because when I put the word stupid, that tells a short seller, have fun. Right? You can make a ton of money. And if you go now and go look around all the rooms outside of ACT, you will see exactly what rooms use our services because they're all bragging. I shorted SPI, I shorted SPI, I shorted SPI. And nobody knew why because they have to come and read our notes first. That's why they subscribe. That's what they do. Hey, if you can subscribe to the greatest chat room in the world who's going to tell you what to do, trade his stock, you got a chat room. You can build your own, right? What do you need? But you got to have AJ. He's the key. Got to have those notes, right? Now look at the notes. Okay? Stupid. When I take the time and write stupid, you better not be thinking, I'm going to long your stock. Yeah, I think it's a great long. Yeah, let's go up there. Let's long it. What are you doing? Yeah. Some guy on Twitter said that 2 buses are gold. They're made of gold and the stock's going to go to 150. Go back to raw, just stop. Okay? So here we go. Marshall, locate shorts, not my problem. Yeah, exactly. I see what you're saying. Go locate shorts. Exactly. Yeah, some people complain, I couldn't get shorts. I couldn't get, it was a great call getting shorts. But what if you could? What if you could? You put 1,000 shares in at what, 15,000, right? And it pulls like 4 or 5 points. It's 5 Gs because it's stupid. All right? You guys got to read through the headlines. Marshall's right. The minute you see stupid, you locate shorts. So to me, this was nothing more than a short. So I had to set it up. Look, if anybody that wants to buy this crap, clear 18 at the open. If they don't clear 18, this stock is it's 11.50. That's it. There's nothing to talk about. I'll give you 75 cents on yesterday's close to today's close, but that's the value of this stock. There's nothing more in it. And here you go. Ding, 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 ding. Opening bell. There's the opening. Did it clear 18? No. Lower low set in. Bam, bam. There's your short. How many shares you want? That's up to you. If you could locate, like Marshall said, and then you slam it down. Where the stock hit? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? You don't guess in here. We're Awesome Calls Trading. $11.57. Here's your nickel and 2 pennies. Is that good enough for you? We are the only chat room in the world that can do this daily. You wonder why we're almost 600 people? Jeez, let me think. All right? Like I said, when you're trading stocks, it's like playing chess. You just have to be 5, 10 moves ahead. And how do you do that? You study and read news. You take the time to interpret the news. And the news tells me everything, right? It tells me, now, let's just put it this way. What if the headline said, let's do this together. Now, how can the stock would have run? Well, if it said SPI is delivering is delivering 2 of 20 electrical buses to the city of Santa Cruz with an estimate value of $38 million, guess what? Would AJ be screaming short the stock? Now I'd have to play it different. I would most likely get that pop at the open. I would run it to 2021, and then I would short the stock to halfway. I wouldn't have called for an $11. I would have called probably for a 15, 16 pullback. You see the difference? It's all in the news. But in this whole headline, there's nothing that talks about money. All it says is the bus is equipped with a 100 battery pack offering up to 110-mile range and can be fully charged. Oh, I'm sorry. So you're delivering me these buses, but you're not charging them? Yeah, but you have to fully charge them. Okay? Okay? Doesn't mean it's going to work. You see it? You see? You see how stupid? Stupid! You know? So, perfect example of what Awesome Call's done. Now, let me end by these 2 trades here. All right? EV is happening right now. I mean, it's all over the place. All right? And these stocks are flying. SPE, CICC. Okay, I'm going to go to, I don't know if I can do 4 charts here. I can, but let's just do these 2 and I'll do the other 2. Okay. I want you to look at something. Okay? All right. This is really important because we're studying together. This is how you continue to learn. Right? All right. Now, a stock is kind of gapping up a little bit, right? Starts to get going. Okay. I want you to look at something that I always spot in the morning. What do you see here? You see the same pattern. What do you see here? What stands out right here between the hours of 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning? What did we just talk about 5 minutes ago? You see how thin it is? There's barely any volume. So what this tells me, okay, this is telling me personally, AJ, there's no interest on these stocks, brother. No, I think these are going to sell off. If anything, they're gap fill if they pop. Yeah. So I'm watching it at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I watched them take off with retailers on Twitter just pushing it up. Both of them. And I'm sitting there laughing. I'm kind of like, oh, okay. I know what they're doing. Right? So, and then this one took off to 43, and then this one took off to 43 and then came down. And see, when they come down like this, hard in pre-market like that, okay, this is a big, big inclination. They're gonna sell off. They're a sell-off on both of them. So to me, they were gapping up both $6 and $7 a pair each. And so to me, they were just shorts. They were nothing but shorts. The higher it popped, the more I could get for a short on the downside. I figured I could fill the 7-point gap fill. So my thesis was, okay, I went long this one unless it cleared 32.50. If it cleared 32.50, I'd get a pop. But inevitably, I wanted the stock to short and take it down. Now, I didn't think it would go below yesterday's gap, but I did predict in a sense that it would come down to, I think, the 29 level and under. With SPE, I figured this would come down to, I think I'll look at my sheets, what I wrote. But to me, if it popped at the open, I wanted to short the stock, which it did. You could see how it started to pop at the open. and then it died. And both of these were very good short ideas. So I'll show it right here. CICC, unless it cleared 32, look for a move to 34. All right. So CICC, I wanted 34 as your topping. Look at CICC now, 33.90. Here, do you need a dime? Huh? You want me to bake you a cake? Huh? You want butter on your toast? Huh? You want me to put presents underneath your tree? How about I give you money? How about I tell you what the stock's going to do? Because it's like playing chess to me. I'll play this. You know what I mean? Checkmate. 34 share. Bam. Slam it down. Have a nice day. And what did I say the stock would come down to? How about 26.50 a share or under? What did the stock go to? 24. You short sellers in here would have just been, excuse me. You want another one? SBE. All right, let's do this one. What did we call an SBE? Well, SBE we called for, all right, clear at 40. All right, if we can clear 40, we'll get probably to 43 again, top it off, and then the stock will swell off to $33 and under. 33 to 34. So I'm looking for a 33 to 34 bottom, and then you can go long. Where did this stock end up? Ding, 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 ding. Stock ended up at $33.50. I'm sorry, here's your change. You know, I don't think you could find a chat room in the world that can do this every single day in and day out, an opportunity after an opportunity. And that's what this list provides, knowledge and an opportunity. And just the basic essence of trying to understand a move of a stock before it even starts. Why is this going to go up? And you have to look at the market conditions. The Dow is up. Why is the Dow up? Why was the Dow up 300 points? Because of positive optimism, still a vaccine. There's just a lot of positiveness out in the market right now. The push to 30,000. I said a year ago, somebody asked me, what do you see the market doing? 35,000? It ain't stopping. And I think this was at 22,000 or 23,000. I'm like, this is going, you know? So every day, what I'm going to continue to do for anybody that comes in, even on your first day, I want to show you step by step this stock, why this is doing this, why this is doing it. The more you understand the why of the move, you can literally go pick any stock you want, which a lot of traders do. They go out there like, oh, I see this. And then they understand because they've been here for a couple of years, this is how he reads this stock. And then they take the trade. I've seen a lot of traders do that. But when I come in, I have traders from all around the world. Everyone's got a different account, so I try to make it something for everyone so everyone can have fun. If you don't want a short, I got your longs. If you want a small cap, I got you covered. If you want a large cap, I got you covered. If you want a mid cap, I got you covered. Okay, you want to play options? Here's the range. You want to play puts? Here's where it's going to go. You know, so you're covered. But the most important thing in day trading is knowing the move before you make that trade. Right? The more you understand what that trade's going to do, the more amount of shares you can put in. The more amount of shares means you make more money. Now, I want to close out. I was very disappointed with TDD this morning. And let me just show you a perfect example of what I tried to do this morning. Okay? So, I believe it was FT8K. And what I tried to do was at the open, right here, when it started ding-dinging right there, all right, I tried to take 2,000 shares. I tried to load up on that stock, and I was looking for that 1 point rip. You know what? I trade what I preach. I trade what I teach. This is my trade. I want to be done in 2 minutes of the opening bell. This is what I want to do, so I can spend the rest of the day. So this is what happens. I hit the long button, right? And TD goes, hold on a second. Hold on. He's good. So what do? So I hit long right here. Right here. I'm trying to execute, right? So the thing's bouncing around. It's just bouncing around, and the stock is going up. And so you see my order moving up and up and up. And I'm like, right? And then the minutes go by, and then I see it pull down a little bit. Then it's moving up again, and my fill still isn't filled. I come over here, it's still bouncing, right? Then I try to hit the cancel button. Cancel it, cancel it. They won't cancel it. What happens? They decide 3 minutes later, right here at 6:34, they fill it, right? What happened? It pulled, right? I tried to go sell it. They held it again. They held it, and then finally it popped. They actually gave me that. So I ended up losing only $300 on the trade. But that's what happened. But it could have been devastating. It could have, I mean, it could have been here, and I would have been so angry. It was just a nightmare. And anybody that has CDD, and you know what? Even if you try to call to complain, all they're going to do is tell you, "Oh, I'm sorry. When you executed, your route wasn't ready, and we couldn't get it filled at that time frame." Because if you look at level 2, right here, you see all these routes. This is the excuse they use. Even though you have all these routes, oh, but we couldn't get filled. I'm sorry. You just had to wait your time in line. There was so much pressure on buying it that open. Oh my gosh. Just any excuse not to honor their screw up, you know? So anyway. All right. So that is that. All right. So that is today's recording. I wanted to thank you for allowing me to come on in and share with you my do this webinar. It has been a while on YouTube. I do want you to know, all my YouTube fans, I am doing my Christmas special, and it is right here. Ho 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 ho! And the way it works is if you're a current monthly, and you upgrade, even if you're a current day, week, and you upgrade to the annual, I will give you back $197. And if you're just simply renewing, I give you back $250. In 90 days, I give you another $500 in 3 months. Or you can take the great dark side. Uh, uh, in art, he is one of the most proficient. There's 2 words. He's just awesome. Okay, he's amazing, and he puts his class on for the entire year. And I will pay the upfront cost and 3 months, and then you can continue on with $49 a month, or you get your $500 in 90 days. It's your choice. And all you do is you hit the Christmas link, and ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Then on top of it, you get all my webinars, and I give you secret sauce sessions as part of it. Secret sauce is $52 a month. I charge extra on top of the monthly, and it is included. And last but not least, you get a one-on-one with me, which is a very valuable. I'm able to just talk to you one-on-one, find out what you're doing. It's nice. I get to talk to you and say, what do you, and I can really dissect what it is that you're doing wrong and show you step by step, this is what you need to do. And I've helped so many people turn their careers around doing a one-on-one because it gives me time to talk to you, and I give you a good hour on that. Okay? So, and that's that. So all you do is click. All right? Anyway, thank you all for being a part of this wonderful, wonderful webinar. And I didn't even think I said a bad word, so I'm really happy. All right? Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Take care.